Let's talk about code switching. In my work with my clients, I also sometimes call it morphing, and it's when you change how you speak or how you behave or how you express yourself, depending on who you're actually with. And to an extent, we're all doing this for some reason or another, like wanting to gain acceptance or wanting to avoid other people's judgment or wanting to maybe control their perception or their narrative of us. And sometimes we may actually be doing it to keep ourselves safe. So code switching or morphing can look like dimming parts of your personality around someone. It could be like being softer, having a softer tone so that you're not seen as like too much or too needy. It could be changing who you are or what you like or what you're interested in, what your values are, depending on who you're actually with and what they're like. Or even a really common one is avoiding emotional or authentic expression because we are scared, we're fearful of sharing those parts of ourselves. So even the parts of us that fall into people-pleasing or perfectionism can sometimes be subtle forms of code switching or morphing. So in relationships, code switching often comes from past relational trauma or not feeling fully seen or safe to be seen. So we can adjust ourselves or morph to avoid disconnection. But the important thing is that code switching is not a real foundation to actually build intimacy on. It's actually a strategy, and it keeps you hidden and inauthentic, and it keeps you performing. And trust me, I was stuck in these patterns for many, many, many years. And it's what we do when we've learned or like believe that being fully seen and fully ourselves means that I may be abandoned. So it's not inherently a bad thing. And this is not a shaming tool at all, because sometimes it turns out that we do this as a survival skill from something that we have learned. You're not adapting because you're fake. You're adapting because somewhere along the way you learned that authenticity wasn't safe for you. But over time, it can really lead to disconnection and resentment and losing yourself. And like unlearning this is a process. It takes awareness. It takes practice. Because any relationship or love that requires you to perform will always starve you of yourself. Sit with that.